What up, ninjas? Panic 17 with another Sip of Faygo. And this has already kind of been open, so just pretend. God damn. One more. So there's been a lot of blase rose talk, but this is not going to be about that. Let's go back a little bit. And, I've been pretty open about my hardships, about being single. But let's go back to a time when I wasn't. Alright, about 10 years. I'm 20 years old. I've told a couple of chicks this, and for some reason they think it's cute or whatever. But basically, at this time, I had lived with two chicks. I was trying to get with one of them. And kind of got used, and I'm glad that it happened. At the time I wasn't, but I'm glad that it happened now, because it smartened me up before I even left high school about how chicks can be when they want what they want, and they're gonna do anything to get it. So I was on some fuck everybody shit, and I worked at a convenience store, and this girl would come by all the time. And she basically had like straight hair with like bangs, and I always thought that she was real good looking, man. Very small girl. She was a size 0, just to put it in perspective how small she was. And she comes to the store and buys her couple of things and usually walks back down the street. I could always see her coming, because she had this pink jacket. And one day she was like, "Can I have an application?" I'm like, yeah, fuck yeah, you could have an application. So long story short, she starts working with us. I tell her, we talk, and she's in town because her sister's daughter has cancer. Remember that, come on. And it's nothing bad, but remember that it'll come up later on. And I'm like, oh, okay, we talk, and I tell her the shit that I went through, whatever, got messed around, and nothing ever really came of it, never really got together, but kind of got used, and whatever. It's all good, and just to speed up the process, we get together, it's not to sound egotistical, but it was more of her idea. I was on some fuck everybody shit, and even then I didn't really have confidence like that, but we get together. Luckily, I'm not really religious, but I always feel like it was God's way of saying, you know what, man, you've been through enough. Here's a little shine for you. So whatever. And we're together a few weeks, watch movies, Dirty Dancing. That I guess that's like almost the pinnacle movie for girls or whatever, because I always heard that, or I guess not, but whenever it came out, that was the movie that motherfuckers got laid to. And that was the stupid movie that I watched, the first time I actually got laid. It's fucking dirty. I hate that movie. I didn't give a fuck. I was pissed off the whole time. I remember getting super fucking stoned before, showing up, because I'm like, fuck this stupid movie. I know that, I've seen it before. I don't give a fuck. Anyways, I can trail on this subject. But anyways, we're together about a month and, or a couple of weeks, whatever it was. And she had wanted to go, to Walmart. And I remember a little incident where I'm like, something's not right here, man. And we're getting ready, and she her demeanor changes, because we had never really, we'd always just chilled at her house or my house, and we never really went out together in public. No reason, just it never came up. And her demeanor kind of changes, and she's like, "Does this look fine?" And I'm like, "Yeah, it looks, look great, shit." And she's like, so you don't mind if I be seen out here like this? And I'm like, no. And I'm catching like an awkward vibe. I've always been kind of like that kind of person. I could feel vibes and shit. I'm like, no, why? What's up? And then that's when she had told me, she was like, my boyfriend before was very controlling and apparently would like beat her and like berate her and just like, you're not going out in that, and grab her or hit her or whatever it is that he did. But I was like, I'm sorry that you went through that. I don't give a fuck what you wear. If you want to show cleavage, show cleavage. If you want your ass cheeks hanging out, fucking let them hang out. I don't give a fuck. Whatever it is that you want to, dress, that's fine. Whatever you went through with that fool, that's that's in the past. I'm not tripping like that. And she would still do it. And it was weird. Like, I told her, it's fine. But I just, after that day, I never said anything. I'm like, yeah, you look fucking wonderful, and just go. It's crazy how like an incident like that can stay stuck in your mind. And just, I told her it's fine, but I would still catch her asking me, and her demeanor would change. And I'm like, damn, that's fucking crazy how an incident, no matter how long, I never asked her, no more questions about it after that day. I don't know how long it was, maybe as a year. Like, I was 20 at that time and she was 19. So, I don't know how long it was. I remember, the first time getting intimate with her, and her hair was kind of sideways. I'm like, what the fuck? She had, and this was whatever within the first week, she had a shaved head like mine, like mine is. I remember her telling me that, her daughter, her sister's daughter, like I'd referred to earlier, had cancer, and they had shaved their heads so that, her daughter wouldn't feel so bad about having her head shaved, because of the chemo or whatever, or losing her hair. And I was just like, damn, that's crazy. But that's it. I could keep going, and I don't need to. That's not the point. But yeah, man, it's crazy how big of an effect, abuse will leave, and for how long. It is what it is. I think Crazy said something about people using that, so I'll go ahead and use it. It is what it is. It's in the past. I guess to fucking just conclude the story, this is how stupid I am. This is the stupidness that I am. Trying to be a good guy. So basically, when me and her got together, I was on probation, couldn't smoke weed. Halfway through the relationship, I got off probation. I started smoking weed again, hanging out with my friends. And basically, I was like, look, you're a very fucking nice girl. And maybe because she was too nice. Because I remember hitting the bong one time. And when you hit the bong, sometimes you got to cough. She's, oh my God, are you okay? And like kind of tripped out. But basically, I let her go. To keep a long story short, I let her go. I was stupid. But I'm kind of glad that I did, because I feel like if I would have stayed with her, I'd have probably had a 6, 7, 8-year-old, 9-year-old kid. And I'm so glad that I don't have kids right now. But I do regret, that's one of my biggest mistakes in life, is letting her go. But the fuck, whatever. It's all good. Panic 17. That's another sip of Faygo.